Okay, good morning. We're going to be simplifying radical expressions. We have simplified radical expressions in the past where we had just a number on the inside of the square root, but this time we're going to have variables on the inside of the square root, and we're going to learn how we handle those. So for this problem here, we have the square root of 5 times x raised to the 11th power. So the way we're going to handle this is we got to break this up into its individual parts. So square root of 5 times the square root of x to the 11th. Square root of 5 is as simple as it's going to get, so that will stay on the inside of the square root. Now, when we get to the variables, what we're going to do is we're going to take the variable, we're going to look at the power that it has on the inside, and we're going to split it up. So this is going to become x to the 10th times x. Okay, and then this is still square root of 5 times that. And then when you get an even power, so here we had an odd power, so what we did was we split it up into 1, or the power minus 1, and then just 1. When you get an even power, what you do is you take that even power and divide it by 2, and we're going to move it outside. So this x to the 10th becomes x to the 5th. It stays outside the square root. The 5 is not going to simplify any further, and the x is not going to simplify any further, so we're going to put them back together on the inside of the square root. So we're going to have x to the 5th times 5x, or times the square root of 5x. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. We have square root of 16x to the 6th. Okay, we're going to break this up into square root of 16 times the square root of x to the 6th. Square root of 16, that's 4. X to the 6th, we're going to take, since 6 is even, we're going to divide it by 2. We're going to put x to the 3rd on the outside, and there is nothing left on the inside, so this is just 4x to the 3rd. Okay, now what do you do when you have algebraic problems that look like this? Well, we have x times y times square root of 9x to the 3rd, y to the 3rd. Okay, we're going to split it up as before. We're just going to focus on splitting up this part. So this becomes square root of 9 times square root of x to the 3rd. X to the 3rd, we're going to split, be x squared times square root of x. Same thing with the y to the 3rd. So we're going to put y squared times square root of y. And then we still have x and y on the outside. And then we just go through and start cleaning up. Nothing to do with the outside yet. We have square root of 9 that goes to 3. So we're going to put that at the very beginning. So this one's gone. X squared just goes to x. Y squared goes to just y. And then we still have times x times y. And then what's left over are these two roots here. So we're going to put square root of xy on the inside. And then we will simplify this one more step. We're going to have 3 times x squared y squared times the square root of x y. 3x squared y squared. Kind of make sure you go to the bottom again. Then the square root of xy. Okay, let's go for another. We have square root of 25x to the 7th y squared. Okay, we're going to split this up to be square root of 25 times the square root of x to the sixth times square root of x times square root of y squared. Okay, 25 goes to 5. All of my even variables, I have x to the sixth. We're going to put this as x to the third. And then y squared just goes to y. Those are all gone. And then we still have the square root of x. All right, let's move on to one more. And we have x cubed y times square root of 36x to the fifth y squared. Okay, first things first. This is x to the third times y times square root of 36 times square root of x to the fourth. We got an odd power times square root of x. So 1 plus 4 is 5 times square root of y squared. Okay, then we're going to take 36. 36 reduces to 6. We still have x to the third times y. We have x to the fourth. That becomes times x squared. X is going to stay. Y squared reduces to y. And now we go 6. X to the, let's see, 3 plus 2, that's 5. 1 plus 1 is 2 times square root of x.